So the Europa League returned last night. We got an away goal, we got a draw, but overall it's a sense of disappointment and a missed opportunity. This is the Benfica versus Arsenal match review. Hello, my name is Richard. Welcome back to my channel over and over again, the Positive Arsenal channel. In this video, I'm going to look back on last night's game here in Rome against Benfica in the Europa League round of 32. I'm going to look at the team lineups. I'm going to analyse the performance and select a man of the match. Before I do all that, I just want to make sure that you are subscribing to my channel. If you're new here, you like some positive Arsenal content, please click on the button down in the corner there and subscribe to the channel. Please give this video a like as well. Please share the content around. And if you've got any comments at all to make about the performance last night or anything to do with Arsenal, please drop them in the comments box below, as I do love to hear from you guys as well. So Arteta always tends to throw a few surprises when he selects a team, and the surprise this time was that he actually selected the same team that beaten Leeds at the weekend. The first time Arsenal have played the same side in 2 consecutive games since 2018, and the first time Mikel Arteta has done that in his Arsenal management career. So I say we lined up exactly as we did on Sunday. So it's Bernd Leno in goal, the back four was Bellerin at right back, David Luiz, Gabriel and Cedric still at left back. Kieran Tierney was fit enough for the bench and did make an appearance later in the game, so it's good that he's coming back, but Cedric started again at left back. The two in midfield again was Ceballos and Xhaka. The three just in front was Martin Odegaard in the number 10 position, Smith Rowe was on the left, Bukayo Saka on the right, and Aubameyang, of course, fresh from his hat-trick at Leeds, was playing through the middle. In terms of Benfica then, they changed their system slightly. They started with a three at the back, including 2 former Premier League defenders in Vertonghen and Otamendi. They also had another former Premier League player in midfield, Abel Sarabia, of course, who played for Queen's Park Rangers and Tottenham. And up front, they had their record signing, Darwin Núñez. So they were your lineups for this game. I must admit, I was quite surprised by Benfica's negative approach, certainly to the first half. I got the feeling that they were maybe quite happy to sit back and get a 0-0 draw to take to the second leg and then try and snatch an away goal. They certainly didn't come forward at all in that first half and put us under any kind of defensive pressure whatsoever. And they had a very high line at the back, very organised they were. We found it very difficult to get through and we were offside 7 or 8 times. We were a much better team from the start. We took the game to them, but we just seemed to lack ideas a little bit in the final third. And when we did get into good positions, the final ball wasn't always good enough, but we should have took the lead just 12 minutes into the game. It was a good move actually down the right hand side. Ceballos put Bellerin clear. It was a great ball actually across the box. Aubameyang arrived at the far post. It looked like a goal all day long from about 6 yards, but somehow he managed to put it wide of the post. An unbelievable miss really for a player who's just come off scoring a hat-trick at the weekend, and that really should have given us the lead, and I think the game would have been completely different if that goes in. The rest of the first half was really played in front of the Benfica penalty area. The only other real good chance we had was just before half time when Martin Odegaard showed great feet inside the penalty area. He maybe could have gone on and had a shot himself. Instead he tried to find Ceballos, but Ceballos wasn't set for the shot and the ball was able to be scrambled clear by Benfica. But other than that, there wasn't a lot of chances in the first half, but there's no doubt we should have been ahead. The second half, Benfica changed their system. They brought on 2 substitutes, decided to have a real go at it. They did come forward a lot more, but we were still looking in control of the game, really. We should have taken a lead maybe 4 or 5 minutes into the second half. It was a good move again down the right-hand side. Bukayo Saka got free in a penalty area, but dragged the shot wide at the post when really you should have at least hit the target. It did look as though that might come back to haunt us actually just a couple of minutes later. Benfica got a corner. We switched off at the short corner routine. When the cross came in, it hit Emil Smith Rowe's arm. He was backing away. He did have his arm up. And it was a penalty was given by the Turkish referee, who actually overall I thought had a really good game. I don't think you can really blame the referee for giving the penalty. The rules are the rules. It was a handball, his arm was raised, and it was a penalty to Benfica. It was their captain Pizzi who took the penalty, and actually Bernd Leno was really unlucky, wasn't he? Diving down to his left-hand side, he almost got there, but the ball just had too much power just to get past him, and Benfica had a lead they barely deserved. suddenly the alarm bells were ringing for me. We've gone behind in games recently and not been able to respond. But this time we did come back straight away. Within 2 minutes, we got ourselves level, an important goal, well-worked goal as well. The ball eventually came out to the left-hand side to Cedric. He drilled the ball across the 6-yard box, and there was young Bukayo Saka to finish it off from close range. It's similar moving away to the chance that Aubameyang had got in the first half, but this time it was more central in front of the goal. Bukayo Saka put it away, and we got the away goal, and we were level. After that, I got the feeling that maybe both sides were quite happy to settle for a draw ahead of the second leg. Of course, bearing in mind, there's no home advantages there in either leg, really, although away goals are counting. It was a neutral venue last night here in Rome. It's a neutral venue again next week. And maybe a draw, a score draw, actually isn't a bad result for either side. I personally just felt as though it was a good opportunity for us to win this game. Benfica aren't a great side. They showed a little bit more attacking intent in the second half, and Bernd Leno had to make a great save from the Brazilian Everton who had come on as a substitute. But other than that, I don't think Benfica are a good side, and we should have really won this game and made next week a lot easier. Now it's very much still in the balance, isn't it? But we got an away goal, we got a draw, and we have to take that into next week with confidence. Man of the match, then there was a few good performances from Arsenal players actually. I thought defensively we looked really solid. Gabriel looked much better, back to his best again. David Luiz had a solid game again. I thought Bellerin got forward really well. Sometimes his final ball wasn't always great, but I thought he was driving us forward a lot down the right hand side. And of course Cedric set up the goal, didn't he, with a great ball across the box from the left. So I thought all the defenders played well. Leno didn't have a lot to do, made one good save, almost saved a penalty as well. So I thought he had a decent game as well. Ceballos in midfield again looked good, didn't he? He's always trying to break the lines. I thought he had another good game, and Xhaka as well. A little bit untidy he was at times, unfortunately for Xhaka. He gave the ball away a few times. There was once just before half time he tried to play the ball across the penalty area, and it nearly led to pretty much the only chance Benfica had in that first half. So he gave the ball away a few times, Xhaka. It wasn't his best game. I thought the front three players were pretty good. I thought Smith Rowe worked hard. Of course, Bukayo Saka, what a performance again from him. Gets the important goal when it's needed. And Martin Odegaard as well looked really good in the midfield. Lovely touches, lovely passes. Looks a really class act. And Aubameyang, unfortunately, didn't have his best game, did he? He was a bit off the pace. Missed some good chances, 2 or 3 good chances in the second half as well, where you'd have thought a confident Aubameyang would have scored. He should have been flying, shouldn't he, after that hat-trick at the weekend? But he wasn't perhaps at his best last night at all. We need to pick a man in a match. For me, there was only 2 players who really stood out, perhaps above the rest. The first was Bukayo Saka, who's performing like this every single week now. First name on a team sheet. What a fantastic young player he is. When you heard his interview after the game, he's so grounded, isn't he? What a fantastic young lad he is, and a great footballer as well. The other player that stood out for me was Martin Odegaard. Some lovely touches, I say, in midfield. Really silky player. He looks to be something a little bit different, and he maybe stood out in this game. So for me, the man of the match is going to go to Martin Odegaard. Well, it's still in the balance, isn't it, this tie for next week? 1-1 draw. It's going to be very difficult for us. Again, we've seen that, you can switch off for one moment as we did for the penalty, and we've conceded a goal. And if we do that next week in Athens, then the away goal's not going to count anymore, is it? But if we keep a clean sheet next week, we're through. And that's what we need to try and focus on. If we can get a goal or 2 to make it a little bit easier, then all the better. Of course, last year we went out in the home leg, didn't we? Having got a good result away in the first leg. So we need to learn the lessons from that. Let's hope Arteta has done that. And let's hope that we can go on next week and get through. Benfica didn't offer a lot of an attacking threat, did they? But next week they're going to have to take a few more risks, aren't they? Because they do need to score a goal. So we'll see. Maybe their approach might be different next week, and maybe it might catch us out. So we need to be on our game if we're going to get through. But I'm pretty confident now that we'll do it. A draw away from home and an away goal is always crucial in Europe. We managed to do that. So let's hope that the misses that we suffered last night, the chances that we missed, let's hope they don't come back to haunt us, and we can progress through to the last 16. So that's my review there of last night's 1-1 draw here in Rome against Benfica. Coming up on the channel, there's a load of stuff coming up actually this weekend. Tonight I've got a live show, preview of the Manchester City game. I've got a Manchester City fan on. We'll be doing all the usual stuff, looking at past memories. It's a big game for me in Manchester City at home because it was my first ever Arsenal match. So I'll talk about that as well. Plus as well, we're looking at players who've played for both clubs. There's some big names on that list, isn't there? So it's going to be a divisive list as well. Some of the players who have caused a lot of friction between Arsenal and Manchester City, of course, on that list. So that's going to be interesting. So that's at 6:30 tonight. So please tune in for that as well. Tomorrow afternoon, I'll be releasing my Manchester City preview video. Again, looking at past meetings between the clubs, looking at the current form and predicting the score, all that kind of stuff. That'll be released tomorrow. On Sunday, I will be doing a watch along of the Manchester City game. At 4:15, I'll be going live for 4:30 kick-off, a little bit of build-up, team news, and then full match commentary and analysis. And then after the game, I'll be doing a fan reaction show as well, getting 3 or 4 fans on just to go through their instant thoughts on the performance and all that kind of stuff. So loads coming up on the channel. So if you haven't done so already, please click on the subscribe button down in the corner there, subscribe to the channel. Please give the video a like as well, share the content around. Drop any comments in the box at all, what you thought of the performance last night, who was your man in the match, and what are your thoughts ahead of the Manchester City game this weekend. Another big game for Arsenal, another tough game, isn't it? But it's all happening, so I say stay tuned. Thanks to everyone who's been subscribing to the channel. I've had a lot of new subscribers over the last couple of weeks. I hope you're enjoying the content that I'm doing. I say a lot of good stuff coming up, so remember to hit the notification bell as well to get notified when these shows go out so you don't miss anything. And of course, in the meantime, heading in towards another big weekend for Arsenal, another massive game against the league leaders. Come on, you Gunners!